So thank you for having me. And thank you, RAI, for organizing this. I'll start. We've had a very interesting conversation since morning, and I was thinking on the 10-minute session that I had planned today with all of you. The lot of thoughts that we have discussed since morning actually syncs pretty well with what I want to discuss and share with all of you. On that note, I just wanted to take you through some of the matrices about Honeywell on the retail side. But this is just the preliminary side. I mean, I will leave you on that slide for a moment. But where I want to spend most of the time with all of you is next few slides, which is how the retail is shaping up, how we are looking at empowering retail as we go forward. And we've all discussed about e-commerce, we've all discussed about phygital and digital, and then what is beyond that. Okay? So with that, I wanted to start with some data points. So this is a global landscape on the retail. We've discussed about the India scenario. We've heard a lot of erudite speakers sharing their thoughts on this. But how the overall retail is faring across the globe and then in APAC. So we've seen that the e-commerce sales worldwide has grown. Okay? The physical sales worldwide retail has grown. And as we move forward to APAC, we look at this. So if you look at the data that is available, the online sales have grown double digit, but overall share of the retail sales within country is still 85% and more is physical retail sale. It's not only on the online. And I think some of the panelists were discussing this. Some thoughts that were discussed since morning has brought this point very well out that we are moving towards an online economy, no doubt. The pandemic in last 2 years have brought this change, and there is a consumer behavior which is going to stay. But the physical world and the physical retail is there, and it's a major chunk of our whole retail story. It is going to be there. It is not going away. In fact, post-pandemic, it is coming out very, very more, very, very effectively and in a more prominent manner. So that is one data point that I wanted to share. The other is the country India in comparison to APAC. So if we look at the overall retail sales, India is second to Japan in entire APAC. But if you look at the online sales, we are third largest country by way of volume, just behind Japan and Korea. So that's how we are fitting within the APAC side on the retail scenario. So these are some of the data points that I thought we'll start our conversation with. But as we go forward, let us look at this. So within Asia Pacific, India's digital buyers. So we have highest number of digital buyers. And in the morning, we were discussing with Mr. Damodar Mal and others, the kind of data, the kind of internet that we have here, it has democratized the online sales. So nobody else today in the entire APAC is empowered as much as Indians, by way of having options and access to online sales by way of our smartphones. So that is another data point that I wanted to share. And then, after setting that benchmark, after having set that data points that yes, we're growing on the online platform, we're growing on the physical platform, we are the largest perhaps digital economy in APAC in terms of growth numbers and all, where we go from now. So that is something that I wanted to share, that what at Honeywell we believe is the next few years and the journey and where we are standing today. So with that, all of us will agree on this that consumer behavior have changed, right? So there is no denying on this, and consumer today has as much options available at his disposal like never before, right? So today, if you look at the whole experience and journey of the consumer, they want the convenience of purchasing. So the challenges is something that I want to draw your attention, because as consumers, we know our own behavior and how we want to drive the whole retail experience. But the challenges today that retailers face is how do I deliver a consistent experience across multiple touch points. So we've been talking about omni-channel, we've been talking about reducing boundaries between online and physical, and that is one challenge that we'll have to have answers for. The second channel is, what new operational models will help me retain customers. So somebody just spoke about the fickle uh, span of attention, right? And Manna before me just spoke about the journey, how it starts. So normally consumer starts on one device, but the purchase ends on the other device, and in between multiple other channels. So on and so forth. That's another challenge that retailers will face as they go forward. And third is, how do I fulfill orders and process payment differently to meet customer expectations? So different options of deliveries, we have all spoken about quick commerce today. So 10 minutes delivery, 15 minutes delivery, next day delivery, so on and so forth. And commensurate to that, the various payment options that we want to offer to our consumers. So that is another challenge that we believe retailers will face as we go forward. And how do I extend a positive shopping experience through delivery? So that was very important, right? I mean, we discussed just now on the panel before that, since morning, it is very easy to have certain commitments on online, offline, but to ensure that we deliver on our commitments, to ensure that we, build that trust and deliver on what we are promising to customer will be a huge task and will be a challenge that retailers will have to overcome as we go forward. So apart from that, so the way things are evolving, because the customer is centric, because we have all this omni-channel strategy, see how the stores evolution has evolved. No? So we have in-store, we have dark stores, we have micro fulfillment centers, like the stores serving as fulfillment centers, and then distribution centers, of course, for harmonizing the overall supply chain and ensuring that we deliver to customers as per commitments. Then addressing these challenges becomes very, very imperative for all the retailers, and ensuring that the customer continues its journey, there's no disruption. I mean, we are at a very right time in terms of exciting times in terms of whole consumer behavior and the headroom for growth that we have within the retail vertical, so as to speak. So the challenges would be shorter fulfillment times. The challenges would be, operational collaborations. The challenges would be inventory and delivery visibility, intelligence, worker visibility inside and outside the four walls, etc. And these challenges will also open a lot of opportunities as we go forward. And these are some of the big trends, and I would want you all to have thought around this. This is where, as Honeywell, we can collaborate on all aspects. But yeah, these are the trends that will decide the future course of immediate 1 quarter to 8, 9, 10 quarters of investment, of the growth, both for the retailers and the whole ecosystem around it. So customer is the king. So everything has to be kept in mind, keeping customer at the center of the entire activity. So that is the biggest trend. Customer will derive all kind of solutions, investments, all kind of inventions in order to ensure that they have seamless experience. And then we discussed about metaverse, we discussed about 4.0 digital revolution, somebody spoke about web 3.0 in the morning. All that will ensure that the way customer is empowered in order to derive the best out of the retail experience is something that will drive the whole demand cycle, the whole investment cycle, the whole evolution of retail as a vertical. And at Honeywell, we seriously believe in collaborating with all of you in terms of first discovering the issues and the life cycles that various industries are in, then designing a customized solutions, and of course hand-holding throughout the deployment cycle. So that is what we do, and that is what I wanted to share in a very short span of time, and leave you all with that thought. Thank you. Thank you all.